So how are you?
It's a countdown starting from 4 on down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna need you guys to respond back when I ask you these questions. All right. So, how many of you guys drove today to school? Yes. Okay. How many of you guys, like, let's say there's a trip that you guys need to go either out of state or even out of the country? How many of you guys are able to do that? Okay. How many? Well, this is pretty much I can answer my own question. All of you guys are here at school because you are able to, right? Okay. Well, there are students. They're known as AB 540 students, and I don't know if any of you have heard about them. I'll give you a little bit of background on why I asked you these questions. These students are not only students, but they're also, just normal people. The definition for AB 540 means it's an undocumented student that is going to school because they were able to because they qualified for this bill. This bill basically allows an undocumented student that went to high school for 3 years in the state of California and graduated or got a GED, and you also have to have at least a 2.0 average to be able to go to school. These students could have either came from Mexico or from Africa or China. It doesn't matter as long as, a lot of them, I'm pretty sure you know at least one person that came, from another country when they were really small, or you've heard about some of them. And these students could spend their whole life, going to school here. But before the bill was created, students were not able to, obtain a post-secondary education, which means they couldn't go to college. And until 1998, that everything changed. That's when the bill was passed, and students who qualified for this bill were able to go to college. So not only is it hard for students to go to college, they pay the same tuition compared to paying out of state, which is a lot. I mean, going to community college before, well, now I believe it's $26 per unit, and if they were to charge an out-of-state tuition, or if you don't qualify for the AB 540 bill, you have to pay $178 per unit. And that is it's expensive when you don't receive, because it's expensive when you don't have the money for it, right? And it's already expensive as it is for normal students, that receive financial aid. AB 540 students do not receive financial aid. They cannot receive grants. They cannot receive scholarships that are not private. So, and also, if you think about it, if they're undocumented, it is also very difficult to find a job. At least a job that will pay you, enough money. If anything, they pay under the table, but even then, it's not enough. And for their parents who immigrate to this country as well, it may not be easy, to pay for school. I mean, it's hard just, getting by. There's this bill, another bill that follows AB 540 bill, which is the DREAM Act. And part of it actually just passed, and it's going to become effective in June, which basically allows AB 540 students who are already in college, if they go to school for at least 2 years, then they can receive a type of financial aid, which is very helpful. And the second part would allow students that are in college if they go to the military for a year, they would automatically receive temporary residency for 6 years, which will allow them to apply for citizenship within the next 5 years. Today I will inform you about I will inform you about issues and the pros about the DREAM Act, and also I will give you an example. A little bit of the story. I myself am an AB 540 student, and I remember when I first came here. I didn't even know this was another country. I just figured, just a little bit of different people, a little lighter than what I am when I'm around. But it didn't hit me until I was in high school, my senior year, where I remember sitting down in my political science class, and my teacher told us that we were going to have financial aid advisors coming in, and I was like, okay, they're going to tell us, we're going to get school. But little did I know I was the only student out of the whole 30 kids that were in my class that was not going to be able to, receive this. And I didn't even know why. They just went up to everybody else, they called their names, and I was the only one left in the room. I felt awkward, I felt odd, but I didn't know why until I came across when I was going to college at the same time because I qualified for this program. And I remember a girl coming in my class and telling, describing what AB 540 was. I had no idea. And until I told her, my story, and she said, well, you do qualify as long as you graduate from high school. And she gave me all the information. And I felt like I just felt rescued because no one could inform me, not even my teachers, nobody in my high school of what was going on, right? Everyone was telling me you're not going to go to college, and I just felt like, why am I even still trying to continue to graduate high school if all I'm going to get is a McDonald's job, something that, doesn't require a post-secondary education. When that happened, I remember joining the club that went around to high schools and informed students, even if they weren't documented, because obviously it is very difficult to come out and state that you weren't documented because you're afraid. But we went around and we told students what they could do and if they were qualified or not. We helped them with finding private scholarships that would help them go to school. We also helped them we helped them by informing them of what was going on with the bill. That way, they knew where they were standing. And we also helped them by providing tutors for them, because I know for some students they can't pay for it, so we help them so they can do a little bit better in school. And now going to the pros about it, like I stated earlier, the DREAM Act that's coming up, that one, part of the bill was passed, so that's going to allow the students to obtain grants, and I'm not sure exactly of what other type of financial aid that's going to be provided, but that's going to help a lot, because not only is it going to help the students that are already in college, but it's going to help motivate high school students, students that are in middle school, that are coming to the, that came to the United States as they were young, to be able to go to college. Because, right now, the financial system is really bad, and job competitions, you have to either have the experience, but now they're also requesting to have an education, because there are people, I had a friend who she had a job, and she had a high position, but because she didn't have a college education, she had to, go back to school and start everything, all over. But if we can't obtain an education just like everyone else, just because we weren't born here, even though we were raised here, went to school here, did everything like everyone else, then we were just going to get stuck in the same low-paid job that other people have because they decide not to go to school. And okay, so restating, I feel that because of the AB 540 bill and the DREAM Act, students are going to be able to obtain a post-secondary education and open up many more doors. Thank you.
All right, Judy, I'm confused. Was this supposed to be a make good on an informative speech, or was this the second? This was the delivery-based prepared speech.
No, that's the informative.
Okay.
The first one. It was actually the second speech.
Right. The one with the visual materials.
And that one was, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Just double checking, because there weren't any, and that's one of the assessments that I'm looking at.
The one I did last time was the one that was supposed to have a visual, but I couldn't open it up. And then this is supposed to be the second one, which is...
No, we're still confused then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The first one was supposed to be the visual one, and that's the one that I did last time. But unfortunately, I couldn't open it.
Okay. So you did the informative speech.
Yes.
Okay. So we're out of that.
Yes.
So this is the speech that we're doing on the current round,
yes.
The delivery-based speech, where you had either the option of doing a prepared speech or an impromptu speech, and
yes.
you didn't do the impromptu speech. You're doing the prepared speech.
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't need that evaluation.